I listened to Kazuna talk about herself while sipping at my coffee. During her childhood, a place she saw in Tokyo opened her eyes up to the world of theater. Her life in Tokyo may not be the pinnacle of luxury, but she lives every day to the fullest and leads a fulfilling life. At the moment, she's only getting minor parts, but she dreams of one day landing a lead role on a big stage. And then a dark shadow descends upon our time of peace.
なるほど。僕は感服したよ。目標を持って生きるのは実に素晴らしいことだね。降参なき者は更新なしという言葉もある。シュウゴは反省して真面目に働けばいいと思うよ。
Kazuna's frozen stock still from our sudden intruder. Honestly, considering who it turned out to be, I'm not surprised.
どうかしたのかい光月和奈くん
Nana calls her by her name, even though I'm sure it's the first time they've met. The way she just shows up out of nowhere is as mysterious as ever. How do you know Kazuna? Are you eavesdropping or something? Nana giggles happily and takes a seat in an empty chair, without permission, of course.
シュウゴは無礼だな。僕はこの店に入ってきたばかりだし、第一そんな下船な趣味は持っていないよ。そうだね。簡単に種を明かしてしまうと、光月和奈くん、君は先月の中ほど目白の劇場で夏の夜の夢に出演していたね。
My sister addresses Kazuna, who glances over at the girl next to her nervously.
はい、私はハーミアでした。
She's really jittery. Well, I can understand how she feels.
その時の客席に僕がいた。それだけの話で何の不思議もない。むしろ不思議なのは、今をときめく新進女優の光月和奈くんがどうして僕の冴えない兄と昼下がりのお茶を楽しんでいるのか、その点にあるのだが、よかったらどちらかが僕に説明してはくれないか？
I reply gloomily. Didn't I tell you yesterday? Got this job from Arashima-san. I'm helping her find somebody.
聞いていないよ。僕の頭は入力した情報を決して忘れられないようにできているんだ。聞いていたのなら覚えている。まあ、それはそれとして自己紹介が必要だね。光月和奈くん、僕は高城奈々、シュウゴの可愛い妹だ。以後よろしく。はい、奈々さんですね。こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
Nana nods her head calmly at Kazuna, who bobs her head frantically in return. Looks like the pecking order's already been established.
しかしシュウゴが僕の誘いを断ったのは光月くんと一緒にいるためか。
Nana suddenly switches to a solemn tone of voice, getting a really bad feeling about this.
大切な兄を誰かに取られてしまった気分だ。正直焼けてしまうよ。
ああ、ナナさんはお兄さんのことが大好きなんですね。
Whoa there, let's refrain from using revolting words like love.
そうだね。シュウゴには僕の純潔を捧げたの
Why
に
you
い
gotta
い
say
と思
things
ってい
like
るんだ。
that? Why you gotta say things like that? You ain't gotta say things like that, but you said things like that. A stream of coffee jets out of my mouth at full force. Ah, cut it out. Jump up and scream at her. Now it's drawing the attention of everybody inside the cafe.
シュウゴ。
シュウゴさん。
Both ladies are looking at me, eyes brimming with pity. Wait a second. Damn it, is this really my fault? Nana, stop it with the bad jokes. Look, Kazuna's kinda, you know, she might have believed you.
ああ、あれって何ですか？
I ignore Kazuna's yelling and press Nana for an explanation. What on earth did you come here for in the first place? Is it actually for those murders in Ueno you mentioned last night?
正解。これは景品だよ。
She has a thick envelope under the table with a thump.
今日は被害者の家族に会ってきた。新聞の記事ではいまいち不足だったからね。その調書と僕の事件に関する試験をまとめておいた。事件に興味があるなら読んでおいてくれ。今日はこれをシュウゴに渡しに来たんだ。
Come on. Looks like I underestimated Nana's ability to get around. Actually meeting the victims' families face to face is clearly outside the scope of what an amateur should be doing. Should stop her now while I have the chance. Nana, listen up.
シュウゴ、僕は忙しいからこれで失礼。光月くん、目白の舞台すごく良かった。それでは二人ともまた近いうちに会おう。
My efforts to restrain her end up in vain. Nana vanishes like a gust of wind.
シュウゴさん。
Kazuna looks over at me, her eyes awash with emotion. Please don't say anything. It's probably just at that age where kids want to do weird things.
はい。
We end up sipping the rest of our coffee in silence. Since Kazna has rehearsal with her theater group, I part ways with her and head back down to the slums. I want to take a look at the street where Yura was spotted. I doubt there will be any clues left, as it did happen over a week ago. The sun has set and a light snow has begun to fall. Even though the streets were quite crowded during the afternoon, right now there's nobody around. Everybody's probably taking refuge in their homes. The city becomes a dangerous place once the sun goes down. Sure was around here somewhere. Dilapidated barracks line both sides of the street. The alleys are overflowing with garbage, and an odor like urine assaults my nostrils. This neighborhood is practically brimming with shady characters. I wander around in the gradually strengthening snowfall, searching for clues related to Yura. At that moment, I hear a voice from down the road.
聞け！汚れた世界に住む者たちよ。今、選択の巫女が新たなる救いの道をお示しになられたのだ。
Oh god. A woman's piercing voice rings my ears. What the heck? The voice continues to stir up the crowd with intense rhetoric. I suppose I'll go take a look.
今、滅びの予言は着実に成就されつつあるのだ。互いの肉を喰らい合う獣、黒い翼を持った天の御使い。これらはやがて訪れる破滅への予兆である。
Tall
お
woman is
前
turning
た
to
ちが
yelling.
悔いを改めるのは今しかない。
No, by all means, finish. Standing in the middle of a vacant area between the rundown barracks. In the clearing around her are people quietly lending their ears to her speech. The heck's going on? Stand dumbfounded at the entrance to the plaza.
さもなくば、さらなる悲劇をお前たちは目にすることになるだろう。
There are people in the midst of the crowd who have their hands together in worship. She's some kind of occult priestess or something? Slowly ease my way closer to get a better look at the strange girl. She has waist-length hair and an angular face. With her neat trim appearance, she's completely out of place in a slum like this. What's most striking of all is her dark eyes. As though they're looking through a pale membrane. They're oddly transparent, there's something intense that lies behind them. She resembles somebody I know. In fact, I know those eyes all too well.
はい、お兄さん。
Huh. Suddenly jerked out of my reverie.
はい、これ。
Child wearing strange-looking garb thrusts out a leaflet at me.
気になるんだったらこれを読みなよ。
Prophecy.
教師様の予言について全部書いてあるから。
I accept it and take a look. The leaflet is packed tight with words written in an eccentric little font. See a title at the top, The Book of Purgatory. Come on, what the hell is this? Creepy. That's the first impression it gives me.
ちゃんと読んだ方がいいよ。教師様を信じないと、あんたもすぐに死ぬことになるよ。
Child looks up at me with an impudent smile. Absolute hogwash. Toss away the leaflet and turn around. I have time to be associating with some crazy cult.
だが臆することはない。教師様の復活とともに、この世界には救いの光が満ちるのだから。
The woman's emphatic shouts echo behind me while the crowd continues to murmur quietly. Nothing for me to worry about. She's just one crazy woman, probably a drug addict. Try to satisfy myself with that explanation. I have the soft stirrings of doubt I have lodged in my chest upon seeing her eyes never quite disappear. Well, yeah, no, when they showed that picture of her being like having the long dark hair, like the picture of Kazuna's sister, I'm like, and then there was that interaction where we first saw that woman. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's one of the same. And yeah, now Shugo be like, oh, she has like pale eyes with some kind of membrane on them, like almost like, you know, there's some kind of condition with her vision and her eyes are affected, almost like a certain other person we've been looking for. Because like the picture he has of Yura is over 5 years old, like he said. Things could have happened. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think it's pretty obvious. Also, the fact that the leaflet he was handed was called The Book of Purgatory, and the fact that it's recommended you read Cartagra before reading the second Kara no Shoujo novel, which with the remaster is subtitled The Shell 2 Purgatory. Like, I don't know. I think there's I kind of see some connections forming already, potentially. After leaving Alamachi, I make my way back to Ikishiro.
シュウゴ様、留守中にお客様が見えられて、こちらの手紙を。
Hatsune runs up to me as soon as I enter the building, as though she'd been waiting there impatiently. Thanks, who's it from?
シュウゴ様のお部屋によく遊びに見える、背が高くて少し怖い感じの。
Ah, that'd be Toji. Scary though. Huh, suppose Toji can be somewhat brusque at times. Accept the letter, give Hatsune my thanks, and head up to my room. Aoki Toji is a member of the Hand of Death, a syndicate established here in Ueno. Toji is also one of the few people I can call a friend. Even a cop who's only down in the seamy underworld for a short time can make some connections there. Though the underbelly of society is filled with a lot of undesirables, there are a few people you'll hit it off with for whatever reason, too. Honestly, it's not much different from the normal world. The simple bodyguard I met back then was quickly promoted to the upper echelons of the syndicate, since the group highly values extraordinary physical strength. That didn't change Toji's attitude, though. The syndicate leader is as easygoing and informal as ever, sometimes dropping by my room for a light chat. I have to pretend to be someone I'm not when I interact with Toji, who's sort of detached from the world. This letter from the prodigy of the underworld is short and to the point. I want to meet you tomorrow. I'll be waiting at the usual place around noon. I find it somewhat amusing. I even greeting. Get straight down to business. Yeah, pretty much reeks of Toji. But tomorrow at noon? Said I have my appointment with Kazna. Oh well, I'll just take her along with me. Might be interesting to have those two meet, since they're pretty much polar opposites of each other. Well then. Last night I went straight to bed since I was so exhausted I forgot to find some way to bathe tonight. The Ikishio girls are probably using it at this hour, so I should probably pass on that idea, but... what do I do? Return to my room and wait until the bath is free. Besides, I'm just a plain old freeloader. Etiquette demands that I take my bath last. I turn back toward my room, gloating at my own gentlemanly behavior. On my way back...
そうなんですよ。あの子たち、君の悪いまじないしを拝んで、私がいくら言ってもちっとも聞きやしない。今度、あのインチキ野郎のところに怒鳴り込んでやろうかしら。
I hear a characteristic scathing voice from beyond the screen. Looks like Ota is hard at work.
旦那、慰めてくださいよ。あの連中の子守にクタクタで、私はもう鬱憤が溜まってしょうがない。
しかし音羽さん、そんなにお疲れで僕の相手なんかして、ご存知の通り、僕は少々激しいですよ。
やだ、旦那ったら、意地悪な方ですね。
Hear the sound of their sensual laughter. This kind of intimate talk isn't something I should be listening in on. That being said... Nop. 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 Sure there won't be any issues if I'm quick about it. As long as I put the in-use sign in the doorway, I won't be running into anyone inside. Well, if that's the plan. On my way to the bath, I run into Rin.
あれあれ、シュウさんこんな時間にどちらに行かれます？
Rin sides up to me casually. Her cheeks are flushed and her hair is wet. The scent of soap rises from her chest. Looks like she just got out of the bath. I was thinking about using the bath a bit earlier than usual today.
フラスか。
Rin's eyes take on a dangerous glint. They're the eyes of a hunter stalking its prey. What? What are you getting all out for?
いやいやいや、全然気にしないで入っちゃってください。
Just kidding. She's concocting some sort of scheme. Oh, that suspicious humming. Anyhow, I'm going to be using the bath, so tell the other girls to wait a bit. I'm counting on you, okay?
はいはい、わかりました。
Rin? Hey, buddy. Speaking of the changing room, as expected, seems to be nobody inside. Excellent. Satisfied, I prepare to take my bath. Strip off all my clothing and prop the in-use sign in the doorway. Well then, too bad for the people working here, so I'll try to get this over with quickly. There's someone in there already, right? Ah, yes, an open-air bath, the beautiful snow-covered landscape outside really hits the spot. Since the door to the changing room is open, it allows the breeze to blow through. All the steam collected in the bath is whisked away, and I can now see the garden and the bamboo fence beyond it. Snow-covered world looks pretty chilly, but it's kind of refreshing as part of the open-air bath experience. Approach the bathtub and find that the water is slightly cloudy white. There's some kind of medicine mixed into the water in the tub. Well, medicinal baths are definitely good for the body. Suppose I'll have a nice soak after washing myself off. The border of the bath is made out of Polonia wood. Whatever the fuck that is. The bath water laps at the sides and flows onto the floor, warms my body up through the soles of my feet. Head over to the washing area, warmth spreading up my legs. Since it's an open-air bath, your upper body gets cold rather quickly. Pour a bucket of hot water from the bath over my freezing body. It's pretty dang hot, but when you get used to the heat and finally lower yourself into the bathtub, there's pleasant tingling all over your body. A nice hot bath really hits the spot. After warming myself up sufficiently by pouring hot bath water over my body, psych myself up and pour a bucket over the top of my head. Yeah, feels great.
そんなに気持ちいいんすか?
Yeah, washing my hair, washing my body. Wait, what?
そうなんすか。それは良かったっすよ。
Is that you, Bryn?
はーい。
Ah,
そう
hell
っすよ。
yeah. I figured that's what her reward, quote unquote, was gonna be for her hard work. You coward. You coward. She wants it, homie. She's willing to give it up for free. You know how often a prostitute give it up for free, especially a good one? Homie. It's like, no, that the brothel etiquette. Nah. Go for it. Go for it. Get that shit. Ah. I mean, I'm just saying. Put me in the situation 10 times out of 10. That's the choice I'm picking. I sigh deeply. Finally, I can rest. It's the first day since I've started the search for Kosuke Yura.
高城さん、一刻も早く姉を見つけましょうね。
Kazuna's eyes were glimmering with honest enthusiasm.
君は適当にカズナをごまかしてくれればいい。
Geichiro had said, a disgusting smile on his face. Love for one's kin versus the honor of the family name. They're writhing together in this complicated web of emotions that has no escape. What a mess I've been dragged into. At any rate, I've got to at least do enough work to justify the paycheck I'm getting. Thinking about my own feelings comes later. Speaking of messes, there's still one more I have to deal with. Turn around and look at the envelope on top of my table. It's the report Nana gave me about the Ueno murders. If I read this, I'll just be walking right into Nana's trap. Honestly, I'm kind of reluctant. We're gonna read it, because it might help with our investigation. The Ueno murders fall under police jurisdiction in a manner of speaking. They're part of a world I'm not involved in anymore. I'm well aware of that. However, in the end, I'm unable to quash the curiosity bubbling up in my chest. I open the envelope and pull out a sheaf. The sheaf? Fuck's a sheaf? God damn it. Google! What fuck's name is a sheaf? Sheaf? A bundle of grain stalks laid lengthwise together after reaping. What does that have to do with envelopes?
Sheaf.
Sheaf. Sheaf is like plant material bound together. That's all it's telling me. It's plant material bound together. Okay. Sheaf. What the fuck says sheaf? What the fuck is even sheaf? First victim, Izuka Shizuko. She was a female student enrolled at the Kaio Private Academy in Ueno.
僕と同級生だったらしいね。生前に出会えなかったのが残念だよ。
She was murdered on January 6th. Oof. Her parents contacted the police because their daughter hadn't returned home by nightfall. She was not found that day.
しずこくんは華道クラブに所属する貧困法制な女子学生で、女性代議士になるのが将来の夢で、それを目指して日夜真面目に勉学に励み、それなのに不憫だね。
Nana's running commentary continues in tiny characters.
これは余談だが、しずこくんの母上は僕の制服姿を見て彼女のことを思い出したらしい。もうそっとしておいてくれと罵倒もされた。随分と新聞記者がうるさかったらしいね。 まあ最後には分かってくれたけどね。誠意を込めて話した甲斐があったよ。
A dismembered corpse is found lying in a drainage canal on the outskirts of Ayamachi 2 mornings later. All 4 limbs have been severed, her abdomen was cut open, and several of her organs, uterus, vagina, portion of intestine, have not yet been located.
折りたたんできちんと袋詰めにしたはいいが、重しが外れて岸辺まで浮かんできてしまったんだ。ご苦労様でしたといったところかな。発見された布袋は4つ。それぞれ手、足、胴体、そして頭部に分割して詰められていた。それからカラスについばまれていたせいで死体の破損は激しかった。そのために犯人の食人趣味もこの時点では判然としていなかったんだ。これはまあ仕方ないと思うよ。静子くんに多少おかしな傷があってもカラスにやられたと考える方が自然だからね。
The clincher determining her identity was her student handbook. It was stuffed in a bag along with her uniform and underclothes.
この手帳がなかったら身元の判明はずっと遅れただろうね。カラスの貪欲にも困ったものだよ。もっともこれだけ早く静子くんが発見されたのも朝方にカラスたちが騒いでくれたおかげなんだけど。
I look up from the documents. The rest of them go into greater depth about the damage done to the corpse, the type of bags that were used, and the presence-absence of eyewitnesses. In conclusion, regarding the first murder, there are no clues that point to a culprit. Keep reading. Go on. I lower my eyes once again and resume reading Nana's report. The second murder occurred 16 days after the first, on January 22nd. The victim's name? Maijima Tomoko.
彼女はいわゆる外傷をやっている女でね。第一の事件との共通点は下腹部を切り開かれていることだけだった。繁華街の外れのゴミ捨て場に捨てられていたところを今回もカラスが袋を食い破っていて、彼女はめでたく発見された。当初は誰もこの2つの事件に関連があるとは考えなかった。女学生と立ちんぼ女、この2人の交友関係は全く
But
被
the
ってい
murders
なかったから
continued.
ね。
A third, then a fourth. The third murder occurred 9 days after the second on January 31st. The victim's name, Sasaki Yukie.
彼女の職業も外傷だった。まあ夜更けまで女一人でフラフラしている職業なんて他にないから、犯人からしたら狙い目ということなんだろうね。警察がこの事件を連続殺人と断定したのが実はこの時期なんだ。まあ死体の破損状況と手口からしてそう考えるのが妥当だろうし、なぜならそのたった5日後に第4の事件が起こってしまった。
Fourth murder happened on February 5th. The victim was a housewife who lived in Kanada, Kosakebe Akemi. On noon of that day, she left her home to take care of some business at a friend's house. That's when she vanished.
まずこの時点で目を引くのは事件の発生間隔がだんだん短くなっていることだね。同時に切断の手腕が洗練されてきたこと、そして遺体を遺棄する場所がかなり存在になってきたこと。何しろ第4の被害者は繁華街の路地裏に捨てられてというんだから、この辺りの事情からわかるのは犯人は殺しに慣れ始めたこと、そしてその欲望に歯止めが効かなくなっていること。
I've had enough of this. I feel repulsed by these gruesome, bizarre murders. What annoys me more is the attitude in which Nana speaks about them. Coolly and at times happily. Sounds nothing like a report you'd expect a female student to write. The things that girl does. Chill runs through me. The little sister that I've grown up with has suddenly transformed into some unrecognizable monster. But still, I whip my head around to chase away the rising anxiety in my chest. Nana can't possibly continue with her eccentric behavior forever. When she hits a certain age, she'll... With my worries about Nana still swirling around in my head, I return the documents to their envelope. Huh? At that point, I notice a bundle of photographs inside. Oh, fun. These are... Still mistaking them. They're photos of the butchered corpses from the bizarre serial murders. The bodies are neat and clean, photographed upon the autopsy table. Their limbs were hacked off and their organs gouged out through the uterus. Damn, that's brutal. A sigh escapes through my lips. It's one thing to hear about the murders, another to actually see the terrible sight of the corpses with one's own eyes. I toss them back into the envelope and flop down on my futon. Damn it all. Sleep overtakes me while I chase around all the vague worries in the back of my mind.
シュウゴ様、失礼します。
I wake up to the sound of Hatsune's soothing voice.
お食事の支度ができましたよ。
Hatsune gently shakes my futon. Ah, Hatsune. Morning. I sit up and rub my eyes. Hatsune watches over me with a quiet smile on her face.
シュウゴ様、お食事はどうなさいますか？
That'd be great. Thanks.
はい。それでは、すぐにお持ちします。
She bows politely and leaves my room. I rise to my feet and open my mouth to yawn. I should get this place cleaned up before Hatsune returns with my breakfast. With my head still fuzzy from having been woken up, I pack away the futon into the closet. I should do it. When I glance downward, I see that this morning's paper has been left on top of the table. Hatsune probably brought it in with her. I flip through this and scan the headlines with no particular target in mind. No new developments regarding the Ueno murders. The only other headline that catches my eye says that a large number of dead crows have been discovered in Ueno Park. Ueno Park sits practically right next to the Yukishiro. It's hard to remain at ease when dozens of dead crows have been found there. What kind of sicko would do something like that? He goes on to say that the crows are poisoned and their wings forcibly ripped off. In essence, what a horrible sight. God damn. Well, it still loads better than having a human corpse turn up. Aside from that incident, yesterday was another peaceful day across Japan. That's just fine with me. Close the newspaper just as I hear a voice.
失礼します。お食事、お持ちしました。
It's Hatsune, her soothing voice coming from the other side of the screen. After breakfast, I go to the toilet to relieve myself, and on the way back to my room.
おかえりなさい。シュウさん、どこに行ってたんすか？
Hi, Rin. Rin greets me with a smile on her face. Just went to see a man about a dog.
はあ？なんすかそれ？
Come on, you work in a brothel, you should at least recognize that expression. I retort with a smuggle look on my face. Well, at any rate, slang for going to the bathroom.
ああ、おしっこっすか。
You're taking a piss. Not so loud, okay? Certainly caught me off guard.
それならそうと言えばいいのに。
I can't let people know that I'm pissing.
シュウさんってば、恥ずかしがりというか、かっこつけというか、なんだかよくわかんないっすね。
I silently vow never to try and act intelligent ever again.
ところでシュウさん、音羽さんの姿って見てませんか？一応雪城の中を探したんですけど、全然いないんですよ。
Otaha. Otaha? As she mentions it, I haven't run into her this morning. Nope, haven't seen her. Oddly enough, Rin seems to be troubled by this.
どうしたんですかね。
She victim number 5?
今日のお昼から一緒にお買い物に行く約束だったんですけど。
Whoa, too sure I've been hitting it off. Rin and Otaha hang out together pretty often since they're about the same age. For some reason, that strict Otaha is really easygoing, but only with Rin.
おやおや、シュウさん
Yeah.
負けました。
I mean, no. Not in the slightest.
釣れないよかった。
Rin pretends to break into tears. Anyhow, still some time left before noon, so perhaps she's taking care of some business?
所用？例えば、生地打ちとか？
You mean like taking a piss? Girls should use watering the roses.
へえ、シュウさん物知りっすね。
This time she looks at me with genuine admiration. Let's see, how should I put this? Suppose it isn't a bad thing to show off my intelligence side once in a while, right? Right? We proceed to pass time by just sitting around doing nothing in particular. I lie down and continue reading a novel I'm halfway done with. Rin sits at my desk, rummaging and rooting through the drawers with a serious look on her face. She probably jerks her head up and says,
シュウさん、秘密の日記とか隠してないっすか？
Of course I don't. Come on, Rin. Don't be pawing through other people's desks without permission. What are you gonna do about it, bud? Huh? Do something about it. Finally, the time my appointment with Kazuna draws near. I say to Rin, sorry, Rin, you have to have a guest over soon, so if you got no business here, then.
ああ、そういえばそうでした。用ならしっかりありますよ。
She shoves her face close to mine.
ええ、実はすごく重要な要件っす。
Really? She forcibly pushes me on my back, and I suddenly find myself prostrate with Rin bending over me. Rin? I hear the rustling of her clothes, the white skin of her breast peeks out at me. Completely enveloped by her sweet scent. My heart suddenly starts pounding fiercely as I recall last night's escapade in the bath. Yeah, I kind of figured that's why she was here. She wanted to finish what she started.
シュウさん、昨日言いましたよね。お礼がしたい。
Uh-huh. I knew it. I knew it wasn't gonna be money. I knew it wasn't gonna be something to do with money. Nah, she wants something in particular. She whispers into my ear. Her soft, moist breath brushes against the nape of my neck. I didn't exactly mean anything.
シュウさん
She's got a bewitching, teasing smile. It's got a face she normally never shows to me. A smile that ensnares the hearts of men and brings them to their knees. Come on, suddenly making a face like this is totally unfair.
私の欲しいもの
Her slender fingers trace their way across my cheek. Her knee brushes against my crotch. Yikes. Looks like she's discovered me pitching a tent. My sense of rationality is crumbling. I slowly extend my hands toward Rin and throw her ass off.
どうもお疲れ様です。光月和田、今日も元気にやってまいりました。
I fucking
シュウ
knew
ゴさん、
it!
本日も張り切って姉の捜索を。
I 100% knew she was gonna walk in on it. What's her reaction? Kazna suddenly freezes. uh... And then she opens her mouth wide and screams. Well, yeah. Our tongues are intertwined. Rin is bending over me with her kimono open, and I'm reaching for her boobs. Can't blame her for not thinking we're right in the middle of the act. But truth be told, I totally didn't intend on doing it, okay? Guys always use that excuse. 10 minutes later, after everybody's calmed down, we sit there, one man, two women. As for what happened in the last 10 minutes, I'll just have to ask you to imagine it from the now spectacularly destroyed sliding door.
いや失礼したっす。そういえばお客さんが来るんでしたね。
Rin laughs as though nothing has happened. Ugh, women.
シュウゴさん、私すっごく厳密で、本当はシュウゴさんはみだらな愛欲に溺れる毎日で、それが楽しみでこのお店に暮らしてるんですね。
みだらな愛欲っすか
Rin smirks.
何がおかしいんですか？
Uh-oh, Gosna's getting riled up again. I frantically try to explain. Gosna, it's all a misunderstanding. But it's not like you and I have that kind of relationship. There's no need for me to explain this anyway. But really, you've got the wrong idea. The entire year I've been living here, I haven't laid a finger on any of the girls at the Ikshiro. It's custom, throwback from the olden days of brothels. Males living in the brothel were prohibited from touching any of the girls on the grounds they would interfere with their work. It's not like I work at the Ikshiro. But that's why I usually try to avoid them when I feel the desire come upon me. What? Nobody believes me?
それじゃあさっきのは何なんですか？
シュウさんの舌遣い情熱的だったっす。
I love you, Red. How do I explain this? I was going to stop soon. I just miscalculated. Let's just treat this as an exception and pretend it never happened. You're bound to have one or two close calls if you live in this kind of environment. It takes a virtuous man to stop at that point. What happened last night in the bath was damn risky. Honestly, I want to give myself a pat on the back for not going all the way right then. The looks they're giving me are painful. Looks like my particular brand of virtues isn't exactly their cup of tea. I guess a man who stands up for himself often ends up standing alone. In the hustle and bustle outside of Ueno, neither of us utters a single word. Kazna walks along ahead of me, slightly to my left. Get the feeling she's still kind of disgusted. Wait a sec, why the heck is she angry? Kazna and Rina distanced themselves from me and held a whispered conversation for a short while. Got random snippets of their talk, mainly the words dishonest, hypocrite, and enemy of womankind. Women always start to conspire with each other in these situations. That's why they're all bitches. After a short amount of time had passed,
いろいろとありがとうございます。勉強。
カズナちゃんなら大丈夫だよ。私、応援してるから。
it looked like they just about wrapped things up, though I had no idea what they were discussing. After exchanging a friendly, firm handshake with Rin, Kazna turned and regarded me with a look of pure disdain.
それでは姉の捜査に参りましょうか。準備はよろしいですか？エロサキさん。ああ、失礼しました。高城さんでしたね。
Pervozaki? Ma'am, none of my names end in Zaki. How is that? That's not a burn. That's not a burn. If you're like, oh, I threw perv into this other name, it's like, if you're not making a pun on Shugo or Takashiro, then your burn don't burn. Hey, I made a pun out of this completely different name. You're so offended right now, aren't you? At that point, just call him a pervert. Just call him a pervert. Pervazaki. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Takashiro. Like, that's not a burn. You're just lame. Which, yes, Kazna is, in a silly way, very lame, but also, come on, girl. Wait, there wasn't even a single character for my name in there. What the hell? Exactly! Even Shugo's like, okay, I get you're trying to insult me, but I'm more pissed off that you fucked it up that badly. Kazna, being sarcastic. Disconcerted, I stood up. Okay, let's get going. And here we are, yet again, in the midst of the throng. I've practically drowned myself in my thoughts. Does this mean Kazno likes me, since she got so pissed over seeing me and Rin fooling around? Yes. There's no other explanation for her behavior. No, it's ridiculous. Frantically pushed the notion aside. Even though Kazna is somewhat airheaded, she's still the beautiful daughter of a well-to-do family. Besides, she's a hot up-and-coming actress in her field. There's absolutely no way she'd have a crush on an idiotic, jobless, nearly 30-year-old guy like me. Well, I don't know. Kazna, walking in front of me, comes to a halt while I'm engrossed in my trivial thoughts.
質問なんですけど。
Sure. Preoccupied as I am with my thinking, I'm caught completely off guard. What is it?
シュウゴさんとリンさん、どういう関係なんですか？
She's a homie? The trivial matter Kazna is forcefully interrogating me about is pretty much what I was just pondering. Let's see. I get along fine with Rin, but we're just friends. Yeah, even though we were tongue wrestling. Does that have something to do with Kazna's sullen mood? Ah, I knew it. Okay, I think it's best to just give her a reply that'll settle things. No, don't say like family. No, don't say like family. Don't say like fam. She's like family to me. Y'all were making out. Alright? Even if she doesn't know about anything that came before, y'all were straight making out. Don't say family. Let's see. Rin and I are just friends. We just happen to live in the same place. That was the safe answer. Shouldn't have any problems if I put it that way.
へえ、シュウゴさんはただのお友達とあんなに激しいことしちゃうんだ。
Would you have been happier if I said I'd do that rough play with family? Like,
発展家なんですね。
how'd that backfire? Wait.
ふーん。
Kazna's mood doesn't end up improving until we leave downtown. Afterward, we visit Aomachi, continue our investigation from yesterday. I suddenly halt. Something doesn't feel right. The aura here has changed somehow. There's something odd about these mud-splattered streets and the people walking down them. On the surface, it looks no different from how it did when we came here yesterday. However,
シュウゴさん、何か変です。
sensing the strange aura has caused Kazna to return to her normal self. Yeah, I know what you mean. The origin of that feeling of unease is the scathing glares of the inhabitants of this area. Squinty-eyed man that walks by us, an old crone sitting on the side of the road, A skinny girl holding a baby, a gloomy old man holding a bottle of booze. The stares come from the alleys, from behind storm shutters, from around corners, from beneath caps pulled down low over faces. What on earth is going on? All their eyes are focused on us. Everybody in this place is staring at us. At least, that's the way it feels. I have no idea why. The fact remains that this area has clearly changed. Kazna. I gently took Kazna's sleeve and tried to shield her from all the prying eyes. After a moment's hesitation, she approaches me. This might be unpleasant, but it's best if you don't wander far from my side until we leave this area. I whisper to her.
不快だなんてそんな
Kazna's voice is even more of a strained whisper than mine.
ありがとうございますシュゴさん
She latches onto my arm strongly. We arrived at the place where I'm supposed to meet Toji. My friend, a few words, is standing there, puffing away on a cigarette. Oh. I did not realize Toji was woman, but also looking at woman now. Hey, Toji. What's good? There are several cigarette butts scattered on the ground at her feet. Toji shakes her head curtly and says,
行こう。ここでは話せない。
Yes, ma'am. She stalks off, leading the way. We leave the slums behind us and return to Ueno Station. Finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. The searching looks from earlier have vanished. They had felt so palpable, it was as though their eyes were crawling over my skin. I'm back in familiar territory now. On the way here, Kazna happily introduced herself to Toji. She told her new friend about her job, her dreams, and the reason why she was working together with me. Kazna blabbered on animatedly without even being asked. Sure, Toji looked a bit odd with her one arm and white hair, but Kazna was completely unfazed. Wait, one arm? I didn't even notice. Oh, so there's nothing in the other... in the other sleeve? I didn't even realize. Toji just looked at me surprised. Most people take a step back the moment they lay eyes on Toji's figure. Oh, not me. I'm taking as many steps forward as need be. That's probably why she finds Kazna's behavior so remarkable. That's just how she is. Sorry about that.
いや、
Toji replies, wearing a carefully guarded expression.
えお二人ともどうしました
Toji's annoyed by your chattering. Take the opportunity to tease Kazna, but then
いや、違う。全然鬱陶しくない。
Toji immediately denies it.
もっと話してくれても構わない。
Kazna cocks her head curiously as she gauges Toji's reaction. I chuckle to myself. Oh well. Seems like Toji's taking quite a shine to Kazna.